All right, let's move on to subtracting within 1,000. Starting with no regrouping, this should be very, very quick. I've already talked about this a lot, so I'm not going to really dig deep into why I'm doing the things that I do. 822 minus 300 is 522. The only thing we're doing is subtracting the hundreds. Same deal here. The only thing we're subtracting is the tens, so we get 609. And then if I wanted to subtract 500, 8 minus 5 is 3, and everything else is carried along. 364. 491 minus 60, well, 9 minus 6 is 3, so we end up with 431. And that's that. 368 minus 200 is 168. 393 minus 80. Again, the only thing we're actually subtracting is the tens place. 90 minus 80 is 10, so we end up with 313. 908 minus 600 is 308, and that's that. As you can see, I'm really sort of rushing through subtraction because I strongly believe that if you can add, you can subtract, so there's really no point in belaboring the point, as it were. We've got some place value blocks. I'm not even going to look at the blocks. 378 minus 112 is 266. When you don't have to do any regrouping or any borrowing, it makes life so much easier, just like I've said in previous videos. 847 minus 562. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do this on the board. If I say 847 minus 562. Let's do this the quote-unquote traditional way, just to make sure that everyone understands that, yes, we do still teach the traditional kind of arithmetic. All right? We're not like completely getting rid of old arithmetic. The way that you learned it when you were a kid is still valid. All right? Stop trying to make it seem like we're trying to somehow take away the way that you do math. It's ridiculous. Just knock it off. All right? So 7 minus 2 is 5. 4 minus 6 would be negative. We can't have that. So we're going to borrow a group of 10. So instead of 8 hundreds, we're going to have 7 hundreds and 14 tens. Because again, 700 plus 140 is the same thing as 800 plus 40. Okay? So 14 minus 6, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. And then 700 minus 500 is 200. We end up with 285. Whoops, I accidentally clicked out, which happens to me sometimes. 285. Moving on. 535 minus 321. Again, when there is no regrouping and no borrowing, it makes it so much easier. 500 minus 300 is 200. 30 minus 20 is 10. 5 minus 1 is 4. The answer is 214. Now this one's a little bit different. Not different, but, you know, there's some borrowing. So we'll go ahead and actually write it down. We've got 325 minus 188. Now there's multiple borrowing here, but that's okay. Because again, it's all just a bunch of ones that we are deciding to group in a convenient way. So instead of 25, that's the same thing as 10 and 15. Yeah? Okay. Well, 15 minus 8 is 7. But we can't do 1 10 minus 8 tens. That would give us less than 0 tens. So we're going to borrow one of these hundreds to make 11 tens. 3 hundreds and 2 tens is the same thing as 2 hundreds and 11 tens. They're the same number. Okay, so 11 tens minus 8 tens is 3 tens, and then 200s minus 100 is 100. Our answer is 137. And that is subtracting with place value blocks. Let's subtract on a number line. 585 minus 368. Well, that's A pretty easily, right? I don't even need to look at the other ones because we are subtracting 300 and then 60 and then 8. That is the same thing as subtracting 368. Which expression has been solved with the number line? Well, it looks like, given where the arrows are, we started at 194, we subtracted 60, and then we subtracted 8. So the total amount that we subtracted is 68. So the answer is 194 minus 68. Which number line shows 471 minus 82? Well, obviously this one's wrong because we're not subtracting 80 and 2. We're subtracting 8 and then 2. So I think B is correct. C is almost correct, but it starts at 417 instead of 471. So we're going to stick with the right one, which is B. Which expression has been solved? Well, we start at 658. We subtract 349. That's C.